it's me, unapologetically T, and I don't know. I'm releasing part 2 of the Fool's Journey, and I'm just gonna get straight into it. Part 2 of the Fool's Journey. She ran into Justice because Justice heard the girl's lines had been blurred. The cave can do that when you think too much. There, she restored her scales of right and wrong and taught her some things are unforgivable and deserve the sword. Some actions can pass the scales, but when they don't, they deserve punishment. She ensured the girl that her discernment and judgment for these things would be restored later on when she meets with Temperance. And she would be able to master judgment with fairness and implement justice of her own. For now, the she would keep notes of her doings and others and continue to practice the skill of discernment to navigate the rest of the way. Justice whispered to the girl to always remain accountable for your own actions. The convo with Justice left the girl in a daze, like if good and bad does exist, what was she? Because she had made some mistakes, but the girl never spoke of what was done to her to cause her to act this way. She started to question everything again, like how should she move? What even is the right way? This left her hanging her in an imbalance. She hung upside down from a monkey bar at the playground until the blood rushed to the top of her head. The girl woke up on the ground, but she was enlightened. But this came at a cost. She had yet another ego death. This time she shed her outdated, indoctrinated beliefs that held her captive to warped worldviews. She continued her journey and stumbled upon her old village, but to her dismay, death hadn't just happened to her. Death was everywhere, and only a few that she could touch, feel, or trust had made it through. The Hierophant was there, and he prayed for her once again. He reassured her that her loved ones were still near, and that because she was still here, she had a great purpose to serve, and she must continue on even if she was tired and felt alone. She carried on, feeling distraught. She stopped by a nearby river and met Temperance. Like Justice said she would, Temperance poured into the girl. Temperance was a beautiful angel that gave the girl balance and patience, restoration and discernment to know when and how to act by simply remaining true to herself. Temperance explained to the girl that things would get rough, but she had exactly what she needed to protect herself. The girl thanked her like she did all the others, and she felt so rejuvenated and journeyed onwards a path towards the sun. The sun, even from a distance, shines so bright in the sun's reflection, she met the devil himself. She was shocked to meet the devil on the path towards the sun, but she was also surprised because he didn't scare her at all. They held a deep conversation about mankind. She intrigued the devil because he had never met a girl so young, with that much knowledge, and still well put together. She wasn't greedy, so it was hard for him to tempt her. What she yearned for the most was love, and her weakness was she didn't love herself. Most people the devil met always wanted worldly things, but the girl just wanted true love. That was meant for her, just for her. The devil brokered a couple of deals, but the girl was wise and asked so many questions, even the devil smiled. She had to make a choice, and she chose the hardest route. Not just because if she made it through, it yielded the best outcome for her, but also for many others on earth. She cared about the world, unlike many others the devil encountered. If the girl was to fail, her contract would go up in flames, and she would lose it all, including her soul. She was brave and unafraid, and she loved to play games. She knew she could beat the devil, because in the reflection of the sun, she had actually saw herself in the devil's face. So it was her versus her, and she knew herself better than anyone. So with the expertise and the faith, she knew she could beat the devil at his own game. She made a higher wager that if she won, that the devil would forever leave her and her lineage alone, as far as turmoil and strife. Once the tables flipped, they would never flip again, and she would be protected by the underworld. But if she lost, the devil could have her soul and the power she had obtained. The devil knew she was powerful and he had never met anyone the same. To make the game fair, she had to play life on extreme. With minimal power, she chose 3 of her gifts to take with her: intuition, wisdom, and faith. So he agreed and they shook hands and a contract was formed. Her memories became foggy and she continued her path, only knowing slightly who she was. She returned home because it was a part of the game, but she had a dreadful feeling she couldn't explain. That night lightning struck and the tower caught fire as she slept. She lost her crown and wand as she ran down the stairs. Her traumatic memories started to flood in: extreme abuse and flashes of a life lived for others, but nothing left for herself. Nothing happened. Oh, something happened and she stopped running and stayed inside as her tower burst into flames. She caught fire and rose from the ashes, another ego death of facing the evil that had been done to her. But she had took the blame for too many years. She was stripped of everything, but she gained herself. She learned she was her worst critic and she had protected her abusers, but she had to let go of any and everything that threatened her health. During the tower, she realized to win the game was accepting the truth about her and everyone else. No matter how much it hurts, you have to walk through the fire and burn to death. Once you can face yourself, the good, the bad, the ugly, and extraordinary, nothing can shake you. She shared her deepest, darkest secrets for everyone to hear without fear of judgment. If she had to be the villain by telling the truth and by protecting herself, so be it. It was a stain on her character she was willing to accept. This brought her a much deeper release than all her other ego deaths. She finally felt free. No matter her circumstances or environment, she no longer had to scratch and survive. She learned that she would always thrive because it wasn't on her, it was in her, and nothing could eat her alive. Her chains broke and she became free. The devil shook her hand and became her new right-hand man, working for her best interest instead of her demise. The lesson learned was not to blame the devil, but to take accountability. She was released from the matrix and traveled the galaxy, where she became a star. She met another star that admired her unique glow. There were 7 other stars present, which made 9, including the mature girl and the star woman. The star poured into the mature girl and whispered truths into her ear. She felt rejuvenated and restored. She felt completely whole. So within, so without, as above, so below, the girl remembered. She moved along so she could meet the moon. She was surrounded by cosmic waters and the moon controlled the tides. The moon restored her cosmic gifts and powers. She told her her intuition was restored fully and that she possessed the powers of the universe. The moon morphed the mature woman into her true self, her final transformation. She continued her journey through the cosmos, a dry path encased by cosmic waters. She saw all kinds of beautiful creatures cheering her on. It was finally time to meet her son. When she ran into the sun up close this time, the sun shined so bright she had to smile and look away. The sun blessed her with complete salvation and rebirth. The mature woman became something anew. It was truly a celebration. She was given a new crown and blessed with new gifts. It was her solar return, and she had mastered the world she incarnated to. Now she has everything she needed within and without. The natural order of things are restored, so above, so below. It wasn't over yet. She must face Judgment Day. But the mature woman didn't fret. She took solace in her good outweighing her bad and knowing she did her best. She never sacrificed anyone besides herself. The trumpets were played, and God appeared and praised that all debts were excused. God saw her more than worthy, and the earth and the heavens rejoiced. The mature woman learned she had to be willing to lose everything, including herself, not just to gain the control, not just to gain control over the world, but to gain control over herself. You are your own governing body, your own microverse, and the world. You must love and honor and respect and take care of yourself. to live the life you desire. And that's the fool's journey. And I hope, someone enjoyed it. It came out, so it's for someone, including myself.